Hello foam fighters, I'm DrFlux. Today's video we're looking at the Buzzbee Rebel Mech, and in this video we're actually going to mod it. So as you can see here, I've given it a cool paint job and we have done a full rewire. I am pretty happy with this thing. So let's go ahead and jump right in and see how I modded this. Now, if you watch my review of the Buzzbee Rebel Mech, you'll know that I'm actually a big fan of this thing. I think it's a pretty cool blaster. So I figured I would take it up to the next level and just do a standard rewire. Now, in this video, I'm utilizing the stock flywheels and the stock cage geometry. So if you're looking for a performance boost, keep in mind this is going to be pretty much similar to its stock performance, which is not horrible. I'm a big fan of, right out of the package, how well this thing performs. I just wanted to put out a disclaimer that you're not going to see a huge performance boost if you follow along with this guide in particular. What you will be getting is lipo power, so you don't have to worry about AA's. So you don't have that peak performance and then the drop off where you get less performance depending on how weak the AA's are. So you won't have to deal with that. You won't have to deal with constantly replacing them. You just charge up your lipo and you're good to go. So I did chronograph this blaster after I had done the upgrade on it, and the numbers were, like I said, kind of similar to stock, but I think they were a little bit better. So if I were to push for better numbers, the cage geometry in here, I believe is similar to some stuff that we have online. So I would have to get a higher crush cage in here and also upgrade the motors. These motors are the stock motors. I didn't really want to push my luck and throw 3S in this, but they seem to be fine with just a 2S. I did a little bit of testing where I monitored the heat on them and they seem to be functioning just fine. So I think under a 2S load, they are just fine, which is very impressive actually. So let's go ahead and jump right into the mod guide, and I'm just gonna go step by step as to what I did to mod this. And as you can see, yes, it is painted. I didn't record the painting, but just real quick, I did a white vinyl dye on the parts that are painted. I used a white vinyl dye, and then I came back through with a fluorescent spray paint, which really locks into that white vinyl dye. That's how I get this effect on a lot of my blasters. Now, step one is just a complete teardown. Because I painted this blaster, I ended up taking everything out. This footage here, I'm completely butterflying it up and then taking out all the internals. So if you need to see where everything goes, this is a good place to see that. Now, after the teardown, there are quite a few things I discarded. There is a lever that actually opens the door. It's kind of a spring-loaded door opening assembly. I pulled that all out because I don't need it. This clip is just fine, holds the door closed. So I took that arm out. I took out there's some, of course, the switch that was in here. I replaced that with my own switch. That's a 10 amp micro switch. I think they're called cherries. So after painting, the first thing I do is test the directions of the motors. I go in and I check which way they're spinning, and then I put a plus on the direction that I needed. I also took out the dart gate. There is a little gate thing in there that I believe that's to help with keeping unwanted material from flying through the flywheels. So I ended up just pulling that out. I don't know if it's really needed, but I noticed that some people in the comment section were talking about having jamming issues with the Adventure Force waffle. I'm not sure if that dart gate is a culprit of those issues. So I just pulled it out, and yeah, this thing works great with the Adventure Force waffles. Now, I wanted to do a normally closed wiring where when you pull the trigger, it immediately starts up the revving of the flywheels. I just, for some reason, I could not figure out a good place to put a switch. I tried many different options, and I ended up just going back to this on and off and just rigging it up, a small little switch in here, so that when you turn it on, it basically revs the blaster. I know this is not the most preferred method, but this seemed to work. I kind of like the functionality of having this lock to where you cannot actually turn this on. You can't start revving while the magazine's out, and the way this mechanics are set up. And that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. It is a safer way of doing it, especially because I pulled out that dart gateway in there. I think it's a little bit safer also, and you can't pull the trigger unless revving is going. And to be honest, I wasn't a big fan at first, but because of where they position this, it's just a quick switch. I mean, I can live with that. That's not horrible. I've seen some of these solutions that they're like over here, like they're somewhere where you have to take your hand off and move it around and turn it on. Those are not good. This one, you rev to fire. It's not horrible. So I can live with it. And that's why I chose to put that switch back in there. Now, I ended up utilizing this compartment up here for the battery. I was going to use back here, but just due to all the mechanics, there's actually a lot of mechanical workings in here, and there wasn't a lot of space without doing an excessive amount of grinding to take out the old battery trays and lots of hacking and cutting. It could definitely be done. To be honest, I saw this compartment up here is just being space that wasn't really used, and it was just kind of already ready to go. I ended up just taking out the back wall a little bit, and yeah, the LiPo fits in there perfectly. So I like it. I'm going to stick with that, but you could definitely put it in the back if you really want to grind it and cut that all out. And then I think you could probably put a pretty good sized LiPo in there if you cut all this out. So in the end, I just soldered up an XT60 connection. And yeah, this is pretty much a standard Strife rewire. Pretty easy build. Really happy with how it turned out. I'm glad to have a modded Rebel mech in my collection, and definitely look forward to using this on the battlefield. Well, I'm DrFlux, and that pretty much wraps up this mod guide of the Buzzbee Rebel mech. Let me know in the comment section if you think this is a cool mod. I happen to be very impressed with how it turned out. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see when I make new content. Once again, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, happy foam flinging.